Bloody Mondays, which starts on the 19th of February, just 2 weeks away. First race is at Miami. After we complete the first season with France tonight.
Dhabi, the stake 1 franc team looks like a basic livery from the 1 franc 23 podium pass low.
Indeed, I did see it. Monster Energy styling, as we had a Monster team in TSL one year over the league that was merged into DRS Extreme, and it was very similar. Yeah, the lime green is not for me, but there you go. The Williams looks very similar to previous, as does the Haas, a bit more black than white this season for Haas, but so far a bit underwhelmed by the new livery launches. More coming, of course, this and next week.
Hey Blobby, hello Cam.
Hello to Stacey in the chat, and hello to Jonathan in the kick chat as well. And hello Bazza in the DRS chat. Of course, I've got 3 chats open, so I'll try and keep up with all the comments. I know I was terrible at that yesterday during Fortnite.
But Stacey, you 1,980.
So we will try to keep up with all the chats as they come in. Of course, Blobby Mondays later on, 10 PM. Going to France, where the penalties will reign, as they usually do for me anyway. But first, we're in Abu Dhabi for this DRS race.
I'm just doing some TTS now.
Get the practice in. That's what I should be doing instead of commentating, but there you go. I think I'll just keep doing the commentary instead. So here we go then, just loading in for qualifying. A mid-season move for Senna and Sloth. Let's see how that affects things.
Currently 0.036 ahead of Grace.
Well, that's good going, Jonathan. Hopefully Grace can get the internet problems sorted out and get in the race later on.
You fingers crossed.
Here we go. Full grid here. 20 all in. And that's always helpful. That's just, I need to try and move that if I can.
The only phone with best tape. Google Pixel 8.
It all comes down to this basic question. Can I improve me? You will begin to find out that learning is good for you, and the great things that you do are really happenings.
Move it over a bit then. Might be in the way of my mirror slightly when I'm racing, but is that going to change it in viewer mode? Probably not. No. That's annoying. Try and move that, but it didn't work. Only on out laps at the moment anyway, so nothing to report. Let's see if I can fix this. Anyone knows how to do this on-screen display part, then do let me know. Normal pits, supercars. Normal pits, supercars. Pits. Supercars, normal. Where's the R3 layout? Qualifying, practice, time trial. Really hot laps, elimination, race. Why is there not one for viewers? Move this down. Move it across a bit. Nope, that's not happening. I'm just going to mess it up for when I'm playing now, aren't I? Reset to defaults. That's not working. Maybe need to go into that one and have a look. But let's have a look through the grid here. Sainsy just setting off on a hot lap. Apologies for that. Colin sets the early going. No, it doesn't. King Kong does. 123.1 for King Kong. Colin 123.2. And Ninjas 126.7. And Syme, there he is, 122.7 for him. Difficult to see, of course. Let's try the options. Move display down a bit. Let's try it there. See if that's any better. There we go. We can see now the qualifying times as well. Hopefully that won't be too much of a distraction for you. Sainsy then, round he comes, and over the line 123.7. Lots more times now on the board, and that's a good lap for Sainsy. Head of 50 Gent, Mr. Pickle, Easy Life, Sloth and Senna. Max World goes ahead of Sainsy into P4. 123.6 for him. Here's Brad. Into pole, 122.6 for Brad. Levi and Ninjas down there at the bottom with 125s. Swanton is out on the track. Swanton, the current championship leader. It's new livery week in F1, and we've seen already Haas have come out with something that's similar to this season's, but with a bit more black than white. As Swanton crosses the line at 130, that's his tactic of a second warm-up lap before he goes on his hot lap. He doubles the out lap, so ignore that 130 time. Ninjas has now improved to a 124.1 and Levi 123.6. Indeed, the new Williams is again quite similar to this season's car. in the blue and black. The main change, of course, the name of Alfa Romeo, now Steak Sauber, Kick Steak Sauber, or whatever you want to call them. And they have gone for what looks like a tin of Monster Energy. One of the default liveries on the My Team game here on the games. More to come this week. I think Alpine are up next before VCarb. As Swanton goes into pole position with a 1:22.5. Not many out on track at the moment. Colin coming back into the pits. In fact, that's nobody on a hot lap. Speedy Bullet is on an out lap, as is Al Newt. Miller Vanilla also, and Skippy. So we will go back to Speedy Bullet.
Evening blog, hope you're well, mate.
Good evening, Adkins, welcome in. Look forward to seeing you later at Paul Ricard. Just talking about the new liveries as they're launched. So Roddy the Kid has been disconnected. So hopefully he can get back in. I don't think he's on my list. I will have a look actually as we stay with Speedy Bullet's lap. Wrong button. No, he isn't there, is he? Unfortunately not. Sorry, Roddy. The Speedy Bullet then into the last sector. Still a few yet to set times, but most of them are on their way now. Across the line goes Speedy Bullet, and it's P15 for Speedy Bullet, 1:24.4. He's not going to be too pleased with that. Skippy does a 1:24.9. There goes Al Newt, 1:25.2. Miller's going to be quicker. Miller is quicker, 1:22.9 for Miller Vanilla. And that is very, very good. That's P5 for Miller. My apologies to my fellow commentator King Kong last week, as didn't realise he was in the Pro-Ams. The Pro-Am winner last week. Smug their P6. So everybody except Roddy has now set a lap, and I do not think we've seen a rejoin notice for Roddy just yet. So if someone can re-invite Roddy back in, that would help. Here goes Brad now, trying to get back onto pole position. The top three in the championship once again. The top three in qualifying. They've had some great battles between the three of them, and that is set to continue here. Colin goes up to P7 and only just, look at that, 1,000th of a second slower than Smug. Impressively close together, as are the Aston Martins a bit further down. Senna just 2,000ths ahead of Sainsy. New teammates. Here comes Brad up towards the line and goes back into provisional pole. A 122.2 for Brad. Retaking top step on the podium for now. Here is Senna. He is 3 tenths up on his time, which could take him all the way up to P4 if he can continue this. He did catch a bit of curb there, might have lost some time. Al Newt has retired, and that is a crash. That is not a retirement in the pits. Al Newt has crashed out of the session. Senna comes up to the line and does a 122.7, and indeed does take P4. Roddy the Kid is back in, and hopefully in time to do a lap. He's the only one yet to set a time, but a 122.7 there for Senna. Just goes to show the move of teams, and the reclassification has not done him any harm at all in terms of pace. Brad, I'd assume, is on an in-lap. He is. No one else is out on track at the moment. Well, there are people out on track, but nobody's on a hot lap, I should say. Swanton now starting. But is he going to be just cruising? He is. He's doubling his in. He's doubling his out lap again. So here is Sloth, who's currently P5. And he is doubling his outlap as well by the looks of things, because he's going slowly. Just got to reply to a message, apologies. We'll find a hot lap in a second. King Kong's back out on track, and a purple sector 2 for King Kong. About 4 tenths up, and that could be up there with Syme and Senna. And he's got a chance of out-qualifying his teammate at the moment, Miller Vanilla, who cruised the Pro-Am last season but has not had the best of starts this time round. And could King Kong be about to out-qualify him? P3 for King Kong, almost P2. A great lap for King Kong. And it's P3 at the moment. Let's keep an eye on Swanton, Purple Sector 1, as he is now going for what will be probably his final run. Just a minute and a half left in the session. Again, they're a bit crowded out on track, as you'd expect with a full 20 drivers. Roddy the Kid is out, I believe, on track to set a lap. In fact, just one driver in the pits at the moment. I believe that is Easy Life. So here's Swanson then. We'll try and get you up to date. Syme's going to cross the line to start his last attempt now, so we'll get with that. Swanson comes to the line, 122.3, improves, but not enough. How long have we got left? 30 seconds is the answer to that question. Who are we seeing come to the line? Mr. Pickle. They're piling round the last corner here. Sloth makes it to start a lap, as does the Ferrari. I think an Alpine is going to be next across the line. It's Colin. He's up on his time, but this is going to be his last one. Mr. Pickle's out. Mr. Pickle has binned it and is out. He's binned it in sector 1 there. Colin then up to the line, hits the checkered flag, 122.6, and that's P4 at the moment for him. Let's see, we've got a Mercedes coming round next. That is 50 Gent. Speedy Bullets going into the pits. So it's a Williams next, and that'll be Syme. So here comes Syme, round the final corner. And Syme goes to P3 with a 122.5. Got a McLaren next. That must be Ninjas and Max World. They're both done. Red Bulls are done. Sainsy improved there. Swanson's coming into the pits. Brad's coming round to improve on his own pole time. And doesn't do that. Senna has come over the line. Sloth comes over the line. And that's everybody, I think. Levi, the last one. And Roddy back into the pits. He is P19 after a 124.6. But Brad takes the pole from Swanson and Syme. The front three are the front three once again. King Kong in P4. Top of the Pro-Ams. Then it's Colin. And Sainsy out qualifying Senna, his new teammate. What a statement from Sainsy. Ahead of Senna there. Sloth in P8 from Miller Vanilla. And Smug running off the top 10. But three of the Pro-Ams out qualifying their teammates. King Kong, Sloth, and Sainsy. Brad Mason taking pole then from Swanson. Then it's Syme and King Kong on the second row from Colin and Sainsy. Then Senna and Sloth, who had that swap midweek. Then Miller Vanilla and Smug. Max World and Mr. Pickle. Ninjas and Speedy Bullet. Levi, Al Newt, 50 Gent and Skippy, Roddy the Kid and Easy Life. Who, of course, on the reverse grids found himself on pole position the other week. He'll be starting from the back this evening. So get your predictions in the chat. Anyone who says Syme, Swanson and Brad to be top three, please be a bit more imaginative. Who's going to win? How many finishers? Get your predictions in the chat. We're live on Twitch, Dynamic Racing League UK, as well as my own channel, Blobby_Butler. And we're also live on Kick. It's Blobby-Butler on there because they don't do underscores on their URLs. You will see the pit lane for a little while here as the drivers get their strategies fixed and fuel loads, etc. I will quickly bring you some championship news, where a bit of a shake-up happened, of course, with Senna moving to the pros. Swanson leads the way by 8 points from Brad and Syme. They are well clear then of Miller Vanilla, Senna, Maxwell, Joker. Not seen Joker for a while. And Colin. So it really is a 3-horse race for the Pro title. What else we got? The overall driver standings sees Brad a little bit further back behind Swanton and Syme. 5-point difference. The Pro-Am sees Sloth top of the pile. From 50 Gent, Sainsey, Al Newt, Ninjas and Skippy. Then it's Easy Life. King Kong, who's missed a few weeks, he'll be wanting to get right back in contention. And at the moment, Levi down at the foot of the table. Not had much luck in running, the Ferrari driver. And that means the team standings has Haas top of the pile, but only by 6 points from AlphaTauri. Williams coming in behind with Alfa Romeo and Aston Martin ahead of McLaren. Ferrari down at the bottom, Mr. Pickle and Levi with work to do. So that brings you right up to date. I'm hoping the repositioning of my camera is not going to be an issue during the race. Should be okay. As we bring you another Monday night double header of F1 action. When we're finished up here in Abu Dhabi, it's a quick hop. Well, it's a quick hop in the virtual world, not so much in the real world, to France, where we are off to Paul Ricard for Blobby Mondays, Season 1, Race 25 of 26. As the Red Bull, I wish I could say led by me, but I'm being carried as usual, heads for the Constructors' Championship. Now then, tyre choices are interesting. Brad's Haas, he is on mediums. His title rivals both choose hards. That's Swanton and Syme. Also on the hards are King Kong and Colin. Difference of opinion at Aston Martin, where Sainsey goes for mediums, Senna goes for hards. Sloth also on the hards. Miller Vanilla goes on mediums ahead of Smug on hards. Max World, the outlier, he's going for the soft tyre at McLaren. Soft tyres for Max World, the only one on the grid. Mr. Pickle is next on mediums. Then Ninjas and Speedy Bullet both on mediums. Levi and Al Newt both on hards. 50 Gent on mediums, and the back three, Skippy, Roddy and Easy Life, are all on the hard tyre. So Brad will hope to have a little bit extra off the line. For some reason he fell behind Swanton for a second there. He takes the position. Remember Michael Schumacher being black flagged for that once upon a time. Back in the old Benetton and Williams rivalry with Damon Hill. Brad brings them round then. Let's see what kind of view off the grid we're going to get here. If it's not a good one, medium hard or medium hard, according to the Amazon Strategizer. Syme disqualified for parking. See how many more get that fate. Let's see how much it actually affects the jump off the line. Just Syme. So we've got front on view as the lights go on. 5 lights out, away we go. Swanton angles over towards Brad, but mainly just to cover off Syme, I think, as the front 3 get away well. Front 3 all away well and in order. King Kong Collins. Senna has jumped Sainsey. Off and out is Mr. Pickle. Mr. Pickle is out and Sloth has spun. Speedy Bullet has hit Ninjas and got a penalty. And now we've got some stuttering as they have illegal overtakes. We've got a virtual safety car at this stage. Mr. Pickle is out of the race. And what were we saying about the luck of Ferrari this season? The bad luck continuing for Ferrari. Mr. Pickle did not last past the first couple of corners. So as you were at the front, Brad, Swanton, Syme. King Kong is next from Colin. Senna has managed to jump his teammate Sainsey. Miller Vanilla is 8th from the McLarens of Maxwell and Ninjas. Good start from Ninjas. Smug is in 11th place from 50 Gent, and it's Al Newt Levi. Speedy Bullet picked up a penalty and has no front wing, as you can see. We are back racing once again. Then it's Easy Life, Roddy, Skippy and Sloth at the back. We'll see if anyone pits. Obviously, Speedy Bullet will. Al Newt is in the pits. And Speedy Bullet also. Maxwell getting close to the back of Miller Vanilla. And tries to go around the outside. He is on the soft tyre. It's a bold move, but it's a move that's going to make a place for him. Maxwell takes P8 from Miller Vanilla. And now he might have a look to try and get Sainsey as well. Smug having a look at the back of Ninjas there. Senna closing in on Colin. No DRS yet, of course. Look at the extra grip that Max World has at the moment with the soft tyre. He's making it count. He's trying to get to Sainsey now.
Only phone with best tape. Google Pixel 8. The only phone with best tape. Google Pixel 8.
If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you'll lose, you're lost. Success begins with a person's will. It's a state of mind.
Up to P5! Superb stuff from Max World there. Sainsey dropped to P9 behind Miller Vanilla as a result of that, where he just got caught out by where Colin was. Senna also passed Colin. And Syme is up to P2 ahead of Swanton, with Brad already a couple of seconds up the road. So it's Brad from Syme, Swanton, King Kong and then Max World. Then Senna, Colin, Miller Vanilla. Sainsy and Smug rounds off the top 10. Smug has got past Ninjas. We didn't see that one. Apologies. Here comes the DRS train once again. And is anyone going to get close enough to make a move? Colin looking for it on Senna. But nothing doing on that occasion. We'll keep an eye on the timing screen as this DRS train continues. No DRS for Senna, so perhaps vulnerable. But Colin couldn't get by him. And almost a wobble off the curb there from Colin, which alerts Miller Vanilla to join the battle. Sloth passes Skippy as he continues to try and recover from the back. He's up to P15 now. And we are starting lap 5 already. Lap 5 of 29. And we've lost one driver so far. That was Mr. Pickle on lap 1. Max and King Kong trying to cling to the back of Simon Swanton. DRS train will start again here. Simon's gone very wide to try and break the slipstream. Very defensive move from him. Keeping Swanton behind him, who had a little wobble on the exit. Further back, Smug now closing in on Sainsy. Is Maxwell close enough? Not this time. He's really throwing it into the corners at the moment as 50 Gent and Ninjas go at it. Beautiful aerial view of them there. And that's Ninjas staying ahead of 50 Gent for now. Wonderful drone style view of the cars there. Levi trying to join the battle. Brad Mason at the front is pulling away at the moment, 2.5 seconds clear. After what happened to Jacob in the Haas on Thursday, I will be making no such comments about him having the answers or having anything in the bag at all, because that commentator's curse was very bad, as you'll see if you've watched my TikTok clip. Sloth making another move, and he's up to P14 now. Colin makes the move on Senna finally. These two have been at it for a while, and Colin has retaken 6th place from Senna. Meanwhile, Miller Vanilla and Sainsy getting into it. Easy Life's not letting Sloth get away. In fact, he's got back past him. Good move from the Williams. And back into P14. Battles all over the track at the moment. Sainsy and Smug trying to get to Miller Vanilla. Senna won't leave Colin alone after being overtaken. Maxwell still trying to continue his good start. The impetus of those soft tyres may be running low. Swanton getting close to the back of Syme this time. And Swanton retakes P2. Senna is going to retake P6. And a bit of a nudge there from Colin on Senna, I think. And Syme retakes that P2 straight away. These two championship protagonists fighting it out. 50 Gent and Ninjas further back fighting as well. They're swapping places a lot. And Levi trying to get involved. Trying to thread the needle and go between both. Look at these two go. Levi's been watching closely. 50 and Ninjas having a right ding-dong battle. Sloth has lost a couple of places. The latest one was Roddy, and I think it's because he's broken his front wing. Yes, he has. Sloth has broken his front wing. And he's crawling round to the pits. That's why he was losing places. Swanton having a look again. Not the best place to overtake into this chicane because obviously another DRS zone follows straight afterwards. As Swanton found out last lap. But this time he's going to go round the outside in that second DRS zone. And that puts him up to P2. Maxwell getting very close to the back of King Kong now, who's dropped away from the front three. These two have got a bit of a gap to Senna, who's defending from Colin, Miller Vanilla, Sainsy and Smug. Levi has now passed Ninjas. All still very tight. Ninjas picks up the first penalty for track limits of the evening. These will be a familiar sight this evening at Paul Ricard in Blobby Mondays, I'm sure, if not only just for me. Don't forget, folks, 2 weeks' time, Blobby Mondays Season 2, where I'm relinquishing the driver role and sticking to the commentary role. So it'll be double comms on Mondays from 2 weeks' time, as I'll be bringing you DRS at 8 PM and Blobby Mondays from 10 PM. Also here on a Thursday, don't forget, as Syme repasses Swanton. They're having a good scrap. Two title challengers very close together there. Still Max cannot get to King Kong. And still further back, no changes of order. Colin a bit wide there. Would be surprised if he didn't get a track limit warning for that one. Got to be 4 wheels on the curbing. Swanton closing in on Syme once again. And here goes Swanton back up the inside. Skippy passes Roddy the Kid. Further back in the field. Syme will now try and come again at Swanton. Maxwell finally getting the move on King Kong. He's been waiting a long time for that. King Kong won't give it up easily. Maxwell up to P4. So far on course to be driver of the day. Vanilla still being chased by Sainsy and Smug. Levi still trying to get to 50 Gent. King Kong won't give it up so easily on Max World, who's now done 10 laps on those soft tyres. So could be thinking of a pit stop soon. Sainsy passes Miller Vanilla, and that's P8 for him. Levi passes 50 Gent. And King Kong is back ahead of Max World. Thick and fast come the overtakes. Here goes Syme again. Syme past Swanton once again. Max World passes King Kong once again. Miller Vanilla's going to try and retake Sainsy, and does. Levi and Ninjas, look at this. 3 wide. And Levi goes round the outside of 50 Gent. Ninjas will try and follow. Sloth has passed Speedy Bullet at the back of the field. Lap 12 now of 29. Overtaking galore here, and only one driver out of the race. Mr. Pickle on lap 1 to continue the miserable season that Ferrari are having at the moment. Smug there passing Sainsy, but just ahead of the DRS zone, but they've both got DRS. Let's see what happens here as Maxwell got close to the back of King Kong once again. Smug staying in front. Skippy picks up a time penalty. And Max World is past King Kong once again. A Pro-Am update sees King Kong leading from Sainsy in second and Levi in third. But only just, because he's just past 50 Gent and Ninjas. So they're all there battling for third place at the moment of the Pro-Am. Skippy also trying to make a move on Easy Life. Bit of weaving going on there. Into the pits comes Max World. Skippy and Easy Life side by side. Max World drops down the order. He's going for mediums to the end. Soft medium was certainly not on the Amazon strategy board, but he's going for it, and he will rejoin ahead of Skippy in P13. Simon Swanton battling away still. Senna has now caught King Kong. Swanton and Syme swapping places once again, and Senna passes King Kong. The former Pro-Am passes the current race leader for the Pro-Ams. 50 Gent passing Levi, but not for long. They're really going for it, these two. And Ninja's clinging to the back of them in the hope of a mistake. Max World about 5 seconds down the road. We'll hope that this battle dissipates, or he can get through them quite quickly as he tries to get back up to the front after his pit stop. Sainsy trying to get back to Smug. He'll have some DRS. Skippy now into the pits. Sainsy with DRS. Should be an easy move. And indeed, up to P8 goes Sainsy. Let's have a look in behind as Levi and 50 are going again. And 50 stays in front. Ninja's right with them. Smug goes past Sainsy once again. Here comes Levi, and he just had to get out of it there. Easy Life past Roddy the Kid, and into the pits comes Brad. And Syme. Brad and Syme into the pit lane. Let's see where they rejoin. Swanton therefore takes the lead. And let's see what tyres. Brad has gone for hards and Syme for mediums. So nobody gambling for softs. Could Swanton be staying out to go for softs? Also in the pits are Sainsy, 50 and Ninjas. So Maxwell has come out ahead of those. Syme rejoining right in front of Levi. That was tight. Syme back out into P8. Brad in P7. So they've avoided a lot of the traffic. Max World didn't quite get to undercut anyone. And he has come back out behind Levi in P10. Sainsy rejoins in P11. Roddy the Kid's up to P12, but he's got everybody right behind him now, and 50 Gent is going to cruise by him. Easy Life and Ninjas are there also. And Roddy's outbraked himself there, and he very nearly took 50 Gent out. Ninjas is going to pass Easy Life, and they're both going to go after Roddy here. And they're both going to get Roddy. Into the pits come Miller and Smug. So Brad really has avoided the traffic there. Levi also into the pits. Miller rejoining ahead of Smug. Nobody gambling for softs to the end. Sainsy is going to pass those three and come back into 8th. Miller rejoins just behind Sainsy, then Smug, 50, Ninjas, and then Levi. So it looks like an undercut for 50 and Ninjas on Levi. Easy Life comes next with Roddy. Speedy Bullet's out of the race. It's a pit and quit for Speedy Bullet. He is out in the pit lane. And into the pit lane comes Swanton. Speedy Bullet's car is coming back onto the track. I'm hoping that's not going to affect anything. The front four are all into the pits, and Collins overtaking King Kong in the pit lane. Bradbury takes the lead. I'm sure Colin there overtook in the pit lane. Whether he was allowed to do that or not, I don't know. Max World has got the undercut on Swanton, who exits the pits behind in P4. And still nobody gambles for the softs. Sainsy's been disconnected. And that's a crying shame for him, as he's in amongst it with the Red Bulls and Smug. Let's just check if I've got Sainsy on my list. If I've got you on my list, folks, I can add you back in. But you're not there, so I can't do anything. He is back in, Sainsy, so he's not lost too much there, hopefully. Max Weld and Swanton. Swanton round the inside. Good move. Max isn't going to give it up, though. Side by side they go. This is going to be tight. And Max Weld retains P3 for now. But Swanton is on his case. So everybody now has made a pit stop. Looks like Sloth will need to pit again. Unless he's doing a monster 20 laps on the mediums. But the shakeout is as follows. Brad remains the leader. Syme is in second. Swanton has gone from battling Syme to battling Max for third instead. Max has had a storming race, going soft to medium. He's P3 at the moment, but Swanton is looking to retake that podium place. Senna is in P5 now, ahead of Colin in P6. King Kong is in P7. Smug takes Miller Vanilla for P8. So that's Miller for P9 as Swanton does get the move on Max this time. So the front three are as you were. Miller is now P9 from Sainsy in P10. It's King Kong, Sainsy, then 50 Gent in the Pro-Ams. Followed by Ninjas, Levi and Sloth. Swanton sets the fastest lap of the race as he tries to make up for lost time and get after Syme and Brad. Maxwell picks up a penalty, which at the moment isn't going to do him any damage, but as his tyres go off towards the end, that 8-second gap to Senna could well be shrinking. King Kong not far behind Colin. His Red Bull teammate Miller Vanilla not far behind Smug. Into the pits comes Sloth as we predicted. Roddy the Kid picks up a penalty. Brad out in front as he has been for pretty much the whole race apart from pitting. Syme in second, Swanton in third, they're now a bit spaced out. Max is in fourth from Senna. Then Colin, King Kong. The closest battles on track at the moment. Miller trying to get back to Smug. And Levi catching Ninjas, as you can see. Levi, similar to Swanton, really lost a bit of time to the drivers he was battling with the pit stops. But now has the fresher rubber. And will hope to get back past Ninjas and get after 50 Gent to chase that Pro-Am podium. King Kong closing on Colin. Oh, he nearly looked for a move, thought better of it. Levi and Ninjas going for it here. Levi now with another helping of DRS is surely going to cruise by. And does. So it's P12 for Levi. And fourth in the Pro-Am. Miller trying to get to Smug as Al Newt passes Roddy the Kid. Sloth on the soft tyres at the back. See what impact he can make on his newfound Pro-Am rivals. See if he can get by Roddy, our Newt. An easy life, perhaps. We'll need some pace to do so. King Kong right on the back again of Colin. Bit of DRS to help as well. And this time he's going to make the move. King Kong into P6. King Kong into P6, but for how long? Because Colin will close back up with DRS. Not quite that time for him. Mela Vanilla held, it seems, half a second behind Smug. Ninjas does have those penalties that affect this battle, but he's still going for it. We will check the penalties. It seems everyone has done their pitting. It's just 3 seconds for Ninjas. Apologies to him, I thought he had a couple. 3 for his teammate Max World. Senna is closing that gap. It's now down to 5.5 seconds. Three for Skippy and 3 for Roddy. Swanton is getting back towards Syme. And Senna, while closing in on Max World, has got King Kong and Colin for company within a second. So they'll both have DRS here to close up to Senna. Of course, King Kong will have to think about defending from Colin. But all 3 of these at the moment are catching Max. And Max might need an injection of pace to keep hold of that P4 that he fought so hard through the field to get to. Our Newt passing Easy Life. And Sloth passes Roddy. Sloth definitely got some pace on the soft tyre. He's gone past Roddy. He'll look to try and get to the next.
The only phone with best tape. Google Pixel 8. The only phone with best tape. Google Pixel 8.
For a short stint is the way to go. Remember, they've seen Sloth's pace. And Levi and Ninjas scrapping. Ninjas, despite that penalty, still scrapping away with Levi. Miller can't get to Smug. King Kong and Colin right behind Senna, all of whom are closing to Max World. Swanton is now within half a second of Syme once again. As you see, Brad coming up to lap his teammate. Indeed, he has now lapped his teammate. And King Kong gets the Senna. Swanton passes Syme. King Kong did get the move done on Senna. Look at Colin. They could be going 3 wide here. Colin's trying to find a way past both of them. Senna passes King Kong and so does Colin. Swanton did get the move on Syme and will now try and get after Brad in the lead. Not many laps to go though. Sloth passes Easy Life. Lap 25 then of 29. This battle has been ongoing. Senna, Colin and King Kong. Then Smug and Miller. Sainsy rounds off the top 10. Sloth is going after Easy Life. He's had a tumultuous race with a spin at the start and a broken front wing, but he's found some pace on these soft tyres and he'll fancy a go at Easy Life and at Al Newt, I think. Meanwhile, Colin, Senna and King Kong, this is going to be tight once again. On board with Colin. King Kong's been left a little bit in the Red Bull. Colin's going to go for it here. And up into P5 goes Colin. These three all need to stop scrapping and concentrate on getting another couple of seconds up the road towards Max World, and they'll get a free place because of Max's penalty. But you scrap with what's in front of you, of course. Swanton now closes to 2.5 seconds behind Brad. Is he going to make a late charge? Can Brad use Skippy as some kind of rear gunner? Is Swanton going to make a late charge for the victory? Sloth passes Easy Life. Senna again going for Colin. Going up the inside. Rubbing wheels a little bit there. And Senna passes Colin. But Colin will get the exit and get after him with DRS. Meanwhile, Max has managed to pull away a little from these scrapping. And off is a Red Bull. And that's Miller Vanilla. Miller Vanilla's in the wall and he's lost his front wing. Miller Vanilla is going to drop. He's already dropped behind Sainsy. He's going to crawl round back towards the pits. These three still close in. Swanton not closing quickly enough to Brad. Barring mistakes, it looks like Brad is going to bring it home. Miller is just managing to make it back around to the pit lane. He may retire or he may come out on softs for a go at a fastest lap attempt. But that is the end of his race in terms of scoring any points. Senna and Colin again. King Kong still there. Senna back up to P5. This scrap has let Max off the hook with the penalty. As they're now 5 seconds behind again. Swanton looks held by Brad. Colin and Senna will not leave each other alone, and Colin retakes that P5. King Kong, I'm sure, will be happy with the Pro-Am win. 6 seconds now for Ninjas, and that could cost him. His 50 gent is just 6.5 behind. 2 laps remain. Swanton can't get within 2 seconds. Don't think it's going to be quite his day, though now he does. Could it be a grandstand finish? Let's find out over the next lap and a half. It's certainly a grandstand finish for these three who are still going at it. Senna and Colin with King Kong looking on. I think King Kong's quite satisfied to just win the Pro-Am. Sainsy second in the Pro-Am, and Levi looking like picking up a podium, which will help Ferrari after we lost Mr. Pickle early on. Swanton has now lapped Skippy, but surely is too far back as they begin the final lap of the race. There you see it. Colin picks up a penalty, and that is going to be crucial. A crucial penalty. Miller Vanilla passes Easy Life. Colin's penalty, that's going to cost him at least 2 places. And if Smug can get a move on, maybe 3. Senna now will probably just sit behind. Al Newt has been disconnected. Miller and Sloth catching Al Newt, so he's going to lose some places because of that, and does. And Easy Life as well. King Kong passes Senna. They're both going at it. Could it be 3 wide? A bit of a rub of wheels. And Senna retains P6. The two of them, of course, just need to stay close enough now to go past Colin on penalty. Max looks to have done enough for his P4. Brad comes around the final corner and spins out of the final corner. Unbelievable! Swanton wins. Syme takes P2 and Brad has to settle for 3rd. Unbelievable! Max will come home in P4. Colin is followed home by Senna and King Kong, who both jump him. Smug did not quite make it, so he finishes P8 behind Colin. What an unbelievable finish to this race out of the last corner. Sainsy will come home in P9 and a 2nd place in the Primes, and Levi takes P10 and a 3rd place in the Pro-Ams. Ninjas is next home, but is jumped by 50 Gent for 11th place. Then it's going to be Miller Vanilla and Sloth. Skippy finished a lap down. Sloth, Easy Life, Roddy will come home next, and Al Newt ghosting, I think, as he got disconnected late on. Indeed. What an unbelievable end to this race. As we see Al Newt parking up. I'm absolutely lost for words at that. The final corner of the race, having led for most of the entire way. Brad spins, Swanton wins, and Syme takes P2. Unreal finish. Brad having to settle for P3 there. P4 was Max Weld. Great race from him from 11th on the grid. Senna for P5. King Kong wins the Pro-Am. He's P6. Colin in P7, the penalty costing him a couple of places from Smug in P8. Sainsy P9 and a silver medal podium position for him in the Pro-Ams. And Levi in P10 or P3 of the Pro-Ams. 50 Gent Ninjas. Miller Vanilla was the fastest lap of the race. Then it was Sloth, Easy Life, Roddy the Kid, Al Newton and Skippy with Speedy Bullet and Mr. Pickle, your DNFs. That brings us to the end of another DRS race. What an unbelievable finish. I'm still in shock. I will be back in about half an hour, or 45 minutes I should say. Lobby will open in half an hour for Blobby Mondays, race 25 of 26 in France. So until then, I've been Blobby Butler. Join me again in Abu Dhabi on Thursday night for DRS Extreme. And I'll be back in 45 minutes or so for Blobby Mondays in France. Thank you very much. Good night.